Hi, welcome to the Shelly Studio. Today I am working on my 100-day project. This is day 22. I just grabbed a piece of the pine tree outside and figured I would do it, but I need to press it. So I'm going to do I was thinking I was going to make a skin with some gel medium, but it never dried. Probably if I did, I couldn't just leave it open because I wanted it squished flat. But the idea was to put some gel medium down, put the branch down, put gel medium on top, and then squish it and let it dry. And I did leave this one overnight, so I picked it the day before and left it overnight to dry. And I just had some plastic packaging, and that's what I used. See, I'm even going to put some on that side. I'm like, I got a pine tree outside. I can grab more if this is like totally messed up. So I do that, and then I put it under weight. Might as well have deli paper there too to protect everything. And I leave it overnight. So that's the day one of that part of the project. Okay, here is when I open it back up the next day. It's still wet. Why? Don't know why I thought it wouldn't be, because it's like plastic. It can't evaporate. So at least the pine branches are flat. So I'm just taking it out of there, throw that away, and we're going to wipe it a little bit with a baby wipe because it just feels really slimy and gross and I don't like it. So, I mean, it's still like, when you see the picture at the end, you'll see it's still glossy because I did use a gel medium on it. But now it's all dry and it's flat. Now, this is some scraps that I got from APG Jamie. She has she's a YouTuber, if you don't know. You probably all know. And she does like this scuffs where it's scraps, cleanup, folders that she creates a journal page. And then what's left, she pulls a bingo ball and you have to guess the number. I came the closest. And got her scraps. So I decided to take her scraps and create my page with them. So these are, I don't know, I've got bright colors. These are brighter than my usual colors. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. This is a piece, I'm pretty sure this was a piece of deli paper. I'm just taking a hunk of the yellow out. And I don't know if I mentioned it in the last one, but I've learned I'm using my rotary cutter ruler for quilting to try and get more square corners and not have them kind of lopsided. It works on this one. I think this one's pretty square. It would work best if I stood up and leaned over it, but I'm not going to do that. Stick my head in the screen. So I could do it like that, but you can't just leave it alone, right? You gotta add more layers. So there's this piece. It's kind of thick. It's like packaging that's got paint on it. And it's got a little bit of some teal and some darker green that I thought would kind of contrast well with the bright yellow. The rest of it, I'm gonna have to start. I'm thinking, I have Happy Mail and stuff like this from several people that I've used bits and pieces from, but I think I need to make a junk journal and create something like Jamie does with her clean up stuff. So I'm going to do that. And of course I can't put it right down the middle. Can't put things right down the middle. And I have this random piece of this blue and I decide it's going on there. I'm just going to add it to the bottom. Yeah, just like that. This one's a little different for me. I don't know if it's the different materials I was using or the really messy pine tree branch. Like it's very busy. Like takes up a lot of space, and most of mine, the piece of nature is like just a small little accent, sort of. In some of them, maybe in the ones coming after this one, I don't know. But yeah, a little bit simpler, I think. That one is just not sticking for some reason. Alright, and that one, I think I take the glue, because it's cardstock, it's a lot thicker, so I felt like it needed regular glue to hold that down. I love my glitter glue. I love the fine point of it. I'm going to have to, I've been using it like crazy. I'm going to have to get me some more. And just that light colored piece. I don't know why, I just wanted it there. And we're going to stick our crazy pine tree branch on there. And I'm just dotting glue around, hoping that it's going to hit the paper. I can't remember, but I think I put a little bit of weight on it to hold it down while it dried. And there is day 22. Okay, so the next one, this is actually a dried up rose hip. It's not very hippie rose hip, but it's from a rose bush. I really kind of liked that pattern it was creating. And the papers I pulled out today, like I'm drawing them at random. They are folders, and I'm drawing them at random. And there's a packet of paper, so I have to pick some coordinating pieces. And I kind of liked the pink. It's got peach and pink, a little bit of brown, and I thought it went well with the idea of a rose, even though, you can't tell that's a rose. I mean, it's got no blossoms, no petals. And this plastic piece isn't the best one to use as a tear ruler, but on most things it works. The one I did today, was coffee filter paper, and it doesn't tear that very well at all. I had a hard time today. I should mention that if you're liking these videos, if you're watching them, if you like what you see on my channel, please subscribe. My channel is like stuck at the same thing for like ever. And I'd like to grow my channel, and you know, if there's something else I should be doing that you think would help promote my channel or get it to grow faster, hey, leave me a comment. Let me know. Suggestions are definitely welcome. I mean, I do have a regular job, so it's not a full-time adventure. It never could be. But I want to put that spiral on there so bad, you can tell. It gets on there eventually. But yeah, I would like to grow it. I feel like it's stayed in the same spot for a year or two. So it would be nice. Anyway. So if you like what you see and you're watching my thing and you're not a subscriber, think about subscribing. I would appreciate it. And as always, you know, hit that like button if you like what you're seeing. And yeah, I put that banana shaped piece because I wanted more layers. I feel like I have to have more layers. So I stuck it on there and it works. And it works with the flower too. It's going on. It's going on. So I have to break the stem off to get that to tilt and to get it to where it looks good from the front. And I think, can't remember what I glued on with. I think it might actually be Gorilla Glue. I wanted to make sure it was going to stay in place. Yep, Gorilla Glue. And if I look at the very top, I can see the glue back there. But I'm going to stick that down, and then I'm going to put something with a little bit of weight. I put the tape on there just to hold it in place so it won't roll away while it dries. And so I think it's mostly set now. So I'm going to put the spiral on. I'm just going to put it on the right hand side because I want it. It was hard to get glue on this whole spiral thing. Sheesh, that was an effort. Excuse me. Alright, and you didn't see me do it, but I stuck a stem on the bottom so that it still looked like a flower. So that was day 23, so this is day 24. And I had, so this is me going through the papers. I had done, and I think it's out there, I did a muted colors jelly print session where I hand mixed some muted paint just to make some muted colors. That's part of Art Joy of Sharing for March. They did muted colors, so I thought that'd be fun. And of course I wanted to make a page with them. So I'm actually using this piece of deli paper as the background, and it's just got a lot of cleanup stuff on it. But I just, you know, I really like that texture. But yeah, I couldn't tear it, so cutting it with the paper trimmer. And then had this other piece of deli paper that just had part of a stencil pattern on it, and I just wanted to add that somewhere, so I tore out some of that. And that's going to go on. Just real subtle changes. Apparently I was in the tear mood even though I didn't have my ruler out, so I'm tearing with my paper trimmer. And I just want a bit of this, so I'm just gonna take a little rectangle and we'll put that on there somewhere. Still trying to decide where everything's gonna go. That's what takes me the most time, is figuring out placement. And then one more piece using the same kind of circle pattern as the deli paper, so it kind of echoes that. And that'll kind of be our central piece. Purple's going on there. I don't care. It's going on. It kind of just a little bit of extra color in the background. I don't think it stands out too much and detracts. So now we're going to glue all this down. Keep getting little pieces of something. My desk, as small as it is, always has little chunks of paint or something. Or with all the nature I've been using, it's got pieces of plant material. Something's always shedding something. Piece of bark, a little bit of a leaf, plant matter. I love collaging with the glue stick. I really like how smooth I can get it. Some things you have to use the liquid, matte medium or whatever, but I do like using that glue stick. So I'm going around it just with a pencil, just so that box shows up a little bit more because it's kind of disappearing into the background. Because it's all really kind of the same. Do you call that the same value? I think so. And of course, it's already starting to curl. All of my pages are curled. And I picked that stick, but the main part that I wanted to use is a little too big. I still have it. Maybe I'll do something with it, but not on these little cards. So I just took the little teeny end, and I'm just going to wrap some, this is cotton warp is what it's called. It's for weaving tapestries. And I'm just going to, well, the idea was to weave it, but, you know, when you're doing one of these a day, weaving was going to take too long. So I just end up wrapping it. And there it is. Had a book sitting on my paper to keep it from curling. And now I'm going to decide where I'm going to glue that on. And that is going to be day, what am I on? 24. I'm just using the glitter glue. I'm going to sit that down. I think I put weight on it. I can't remember, but here's your close-up. Kind of interesting, right? Alright, so this one, day 25, this is all I got. It's a piece of Mamagami, homemade Mamagami, and then it's, I think it's tracing paper that I had kind of playing with making my own scripting, right? So, and Mamagami does not tear with a ruler, by the way. That just did not work. So I cut a piece to get it to about this size. And if you don't know what Mamagami is, I don't think I end up using that piece. I think that I decide that's too small, and I tear off some more. But I hand tear it because I like the rough edges. But it's a lot of people do it with magazines. You get like olive oil or baby oil. I have baby oil that I use on my gel plate, so I just put baby oil on my hands and I crunched it with oily hands, and you just keep crunching it and crunching it and crunching it. And this was like ugly painted on paper, rice paper, I think, and didn't like it, so I painted over it with the yellow, and then just decided to turn it into Mamagami. I hadn't done it before, and I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it. So I just crunched it forever and ever and ever, and loads of baby oil, and my hands got really nice and soft. But it's supposed to make it look like fabric. I think it just looks like crinkled paper, but maybe a magazine would work better. I don't know. And on my tracing paper, I found that one that looked like a real scripting. So I took that out, but now I need something else. So I'm going through this book that I use to weigh things down. And this is just a book I got at the thrift store. And I'm just trying to find a generic page that isn't too graphic. And I don't mean graphic in a bad way. Just not too illustrative. Just for some background. And that'll be my backdrop for this one. And I really, really like this one, actually. I like how this one turns out. So once I get that down to size, I'm going to use some walnut stain and stain it. So I have the walnut stain and some water. I think I spray with water first just to get it so the walnut stain will spread. My walnut stain is really old and almost out, so I try to make it go as far as possible. I'm just moving it around. And I actually end up dipping the edges of the piece of Mamagami paper that I tore. I dip that in the walnut stain, and then I ink it because it needs more excitement. So here we go. We're gonna squirt some of that out, add a little water, and then I just start dipping. It doesn't absorb it as much as I wanted it to. I mean, it does, but not enough. So I do end up inking. I can't remember if I showed that part, but I really like the distressed look. And I also ink around the text paper too. Damn, I'm just using it to wipe it up too. Alright. Okay, so you can see now everything's nice and dark. And we're going to glue this all down. I think that's where I'm headed. Can't decide if this is my favorite of all time so far or just one of my favorites. So I've got the book text on, and for this paper I'm going to use the glue and just dot it around. Because you want to maintain some of that texture, so you don't want to like smooth it all flat. I don't think I could have gotten that perfectly flat after crinkling it anyway. And then this is the tracing paper, and I just put it on with a glue stick, and it surprises me how, I mean, I know it's tracing paper, I know it's see-through, but it surprises me how see-through it looks, especially over the book text. Like, yeah, it's cool. Okay, so my piece of nature is a feather, and I decided, after messing around, that I would have it look like a quill and that it wrote that scripting. So I'm just dipping the tip in ink so it has ink on it and then dragging it across a little bit. And then we're going to glue it down. Right there, and put a little weight on it. And there it is. Well, I hope you've liked these videos. I hope you like these particular ones. Let me know which one's your favorite. And thank you all for watching. I hope you have an awesome day.